So let's continue with that lesson on life process 1. In the previous session, all of you remember, we had discussed completely about the different types of respiration, right? We had completed the respiration part of the lesson, and we had seen what are the types of respiration, the differences between them, right? And the different steps of aerobic as well as anaerobic respiration. Okay. So Abhirami, can you tell me what is the site of aerobic respiration in the cell? Yes, Abhirami. Inside a living cell, where does aerobic respiration take place? In which part of the cell? Okay, Shivganga. Inside a living cell, in aerobic respiration, which part of the cell is involved in it? You had seen the structure also, something under the electron microscope. Bolo, Shivganga. Don't know? Harsha can answer.
Cytoplasm.
It is not only cytoplasm. Besides that, there is one cell organelle.
Mitochondria.
It is the mitochondria, correct. Okay, mitochondria is the site of respiration. Yes, Shivganga, Yadaya, we had seen the structure. We had seen the different parts of the mitochondria, and every step of the aerobic respiration is taking place in some part, right? Glycolysis is a common step between aerobic and anaerobic taking place in the cytoplasm, but the further steps, Krebs cycle takes place in the matrix of mitochondria, and ETS takes place in the F1 particles, वो छोटे छोटे bulb like structures जो दिखाए थे, ठीक है? And for anaerobic respiration, there is no mitochondria involved because it takes place only in the cytoplasm without the presence of oxygen. Okay, and which molecule is known as the powerhouse of the cell? Sorry, energy currency.
Mitochondria.
Yeah, right. But which molecule is called the energy currency of the cell? Energy currency.
ATP molecule.
It is the ATP molecule. Full form?
Adenosine triphosphate.
Yes, adenosine triphosphate. That's called as the energy currency because that is the one which is produced during respiration. Okay, so during respiration from one glucose molecule, when complete aerobic respiration takes place, how many ATP molecules are produced? Aerobic respiration of one glucose molecule, when it takes place completely, how many ATP molecules are produced?
36.
36, or you can say 38 also, both are correct. But in anaerobic respiration, what is the total number of ATP produced?
686.
It is actually 2. The net gain is 2. Okay. So aerobic mein it is 38, anaerobic mein it is 2. Direct ATP if you consider. Okay. And Harsha, you were absent last time, so make sure that you go through that session, earlier session, because the main technical aspects of aerobic and anaerobic respiration was discussed. That is very important to understand. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And if you have any queries, please ask. Fine. Okay. So now let's continue from here. So I assume that all of you have understood the fact that when it comes to anaerobic respiration, it is also called fermentation. And the product of fermentation is different for plant cell as well as animal cell, right? In a plant cell, you're getting ethyl alcohol. And in animal cell, whenever anaerobic respiration takes place, you get lactic acid. Okay. So So that's why, because of this anaerobic respiration, which takes place inside microorganisms mostly, you get some commercially important products which are very useful in daily life, right? So we had talked about this example. What is this?
Milk transform into curd or
Correct. The
yogurt.
very common process taking place in our kitchen where you get curd from milk, right? So dahi khate hain sab log?
Yes.
Very good for the health,
Yes.
for digestion, correct? Good quality dahi, right? So that curd, whenever you consume next time, you're going to revise, you're going to say thanks to what? Lactobacillus. है कि नहीं? इस बैक्टीरिया के वजह से हमें इतना टेस्टी दही मिलता है ना, right? And there are different brands in the market and also that we cannot talk about. Ultimately, it is curd, it is lactobacillus. Similarly, okay, the next one, which I suggest that you can avoid, okay, but you know very well, it is wine, right? So occasional sipping of wine is okay, something alcoholic, okay, in the later years of life, of course, not now, okay. That is possible because of fermentation of the grapes juice by yeast. There are very big wine factories located in different parts of the country and world. Which is the nearest and the biggest wine factory that we have in India? One of the biggest. इंडिया में ग्रेप्स का प्रोडक्शन सबसे ज्यादा कहाँ पर है?
नासिक.
नासिक, correct. Okay, नासिक is famous for its grape vineyards. So नासिक में ही वहाँ पर सुला वाइनरी करके फैक्ट्री, one of the biggest one. तो like when I was a student in college, तो हम लोग को वहाँ पे स्टडी टूर के लिए लेकर गए थे. So we had seen all the process inside, how the grapes are harvested, they are crushed, उसका juice निकाल कर, how the yeast inoculation is done. Then there are very big fermenters there. Okay, उन fermenters में इस juice को डालकर कैसे yeast के extract डाले जाते हैं, and they are allowed to ferment till you get wine. Okay, so that wine production, wine industry is a very big industry. And it's not only wine, this is the one which contains the least alcohol content. So once in a while, occasional is okay, but of course for adults. But there are other alcoholic beverages also, okay, which has got still higher concentration and it is prepared from other plant sources also. जैसे barley, oats, maize, उन सब का भी beverages बनते हैं. We will see that in detail when we talk about introduction to microbiology. Okay, so till here all the points are clear, everyone. Understanding of this lesson is very very important. The concepts are very important. ठीक है, especially पूरे science 2 में ऐसे ही biological concepts है, तो each and every term must be understood very well. ठीक है, now let's proceed. Some few more important facts and aspects related to respiration. Pay attention to this properly. Okay, at any point of time, if you are confused with anything, you can tell me. I will be ready to repeat also. Okay, but समझ लो अच्छे से. See this. सबसे पहले, okay, as we by now this point must be clear to you that when we talk about respiration, we have something called respiratory substrate upon which the oxygen acts. तब respiration होता है, carbon dioxide, water and energy is given out. That is what the whole process of respiration we have seen. So the most common respiratory substrate is nothing but glucose. वही हमने nutrients में देखा कि carbohydrates and fats are the sources of energy. So carbohydrates, when they are digested, you get glucose. Correct? So in each and every cell of every human being, every organism, the ultimate product which is oxidized during respiration is glucose. This you can keep it as an underlined fact. Okay, glucose is the most common respiratory substrate. Okay, sometimes there can be fatty acids also, but see what happens to fatty acids as well. So any cell at any given time, it has got glucose in more than the required amounts. Okay, imagine human beings while eating food, you don't measure, no? हम लोग weighing balance लेके बैठते हैं खाना खाते वक्त? Of course not. Correct? Suppose somebody gives you a chocolate, you enjoy, you just have it till you are mentally satisfied कि हाँ चलो पेट भर गया, मन खुश हो गया. Correct? After that, it's the body's lookout. So when you consume carbohydrates like this, more than what is required by you, So the cell will have lot of glucose more than what is required by the cell at any given time. So the question is, if there is extra glucose in the cell more than what is required, what do you do? Okay, it's like, for example, you imagine like after you finish your studies and all, you'll make your own careers. Okay, पढ़ाई वढ़ाई खत्म करके you will go for a job, आगे जाके नौकरी करोगे, ठीक है? तो according to your qualification, according to your expertise, you will get a job in a company, and that company will pay you a monthly salary, correct? So suppose at that point of time, according to your family conditions and your requirements, suppose for example, every month you will require say 50,000 as your expenses, basic needs, luxury, सब पूरा करने में suppose for example 50,000 you will need every month. But suppose because you studied well, you have got a good expertise and all, if the company is good, you get a salary, say every month the company will give you 80,000. So will you give 30,000 back to the company, saying that कि मुझे 50,000 ही बस हो गया करके? Will you do that?
No.
If the
No.
company will offer you more than what is required, will you give it back? No normal person will do that, right? So extra अगर मिलेगा कंपनी से तो क्या करोगे?
Invest or saving.
Savings. Because it is something extra you are getting more than what is required, so you are going to save it. In what form will you save it? कैसे सेव करोगे?
We will invest it somewhere.
You will invest it somewhere, right? Will you keep it, encash it and keep the cash at home?
No.
Extra 30,000 है for example, पूरा 30,000 cash से घर पे संभाल के रखोगे क्या? No normal person will do that. At least for a middle class, nobody will do that. Why? Cash क्यों नहीं रखोगे घर पे? What will happen if you will keep cash? सामने कैश पड़ा होगा तो ना चाहते हुए भी यूज हो जाएगा, बिकॉज यू विल फील दैट कि अरे हाँ पैसे तो है, चलो यूज करते हैं, तो यू विल स्पेंड अ लॉट. इट्स ह्यूमन टेंडेंसी. जो सपोज फॉर एग्जांपल यू विल गो टू बाय क्लोथ्स, 500 रुपए के कपड़े मिल रहे हैं तो यू विल से नहीं 1000 का ले लेते हैं या ज्यादा कपड़े ले लेते हैं. तो अल्टीमेटली इवन इफ यू डोंट रिक्वायर यू विल स्पेंड, करेक्ट? तो वो क्या हो जाएगा? इट विल बी काइंड ऑफ अ वेस्टेज. तो यू आर गोइंग टू इन्वेस्ट इट इन समथिंग. तो कोई म्यूचुअल फंड का पॉलिसी ले लिया या बैंक के अकाउंट में डाल दिए, एफडी करा दिया, समथिंग और द अदर फॉर्म. तो मनी इज योर्स बट इट इज नॉट विथ यू, और इट इज इन सच अ फॉर्म दैट यू कैनॉट यूज इट इमीडिएटली. एग्जैक्टली यही प्रिंसिपल अपना सेल करते हैं, ठीक नहीं? जो न्यूट्रिशन के वजह से एक्स्ट्रा ग्लूकोज आ गया, दैट ग्लूकोज इज देयर इन द सेल मोर देन व्हाट इज रिक्वायर्ड, बट उसको उस वक्त नहीं चाहिए. Okay, and what is the reason you do the savings? पैसे क्यों सेविंग करेंगे?
For future.
For future, because sometimes unfortunately कभी लाइफ में सिचुएशन आ सकता है where suddenly you will require more money. ज्यादा पैसे एक साथ लग जाएंगे, so that time you won't have to ask anyone. It will be your own money which will be useful for you. Same thing our cell also follows. कि एक्स्ट्रा ग्लूकोज को स्टोर करके रखो, सडनली कभी टाइम आएगा कि द सेल इज नॉट गेटिंग एनी एनर्जी फ्रॉम आउटसाइड. ओके, इन केस ऑफ ह्यूमन बीइंग, सपोज यू आर फेस्टिवल्स वगैरह आते तो फास्टिंग करते, ठीक है? यू डोंट ईट फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम, तो योर बॉडी इज हैविंग द रिसोर्सेस कि सम टाइम तक यू कैन सस्टेन. ओके, या स्कूल में मार्क्स कम आ गया, पेरेंट्स ने पनिशमेंट दे दिया, खाना नहीं मिलेगा, पॉसिबल है? पॉसिबल है, खाना नहीं मिलेगा, खाना बंद. So that time you must be saying thanks to the already eaten glucose. Getting it? Okay. So the excess glucose is converted or conserved for later use by converting it to an insoluble form. Okay. As I gave that example, cash बना के cash को घर में नहीं रखेंगे because वो soluble form. It will be used up. Same way, glucose is a soluble form. If it is just stored as glucose in the cell, it will be used up as it is. तो उसको क्या करते हैं, इनसोल्यूबल फॉर्म में स्टोर करके रखते हैं. ओके, तो यू पुट इट इन योर बैंक अकाउंट और एफडी और समथिंग, वो इनसोल्यूबल फॉर्म हो गया. तो सेल क्या करते हैं, ग्लूकोज इज कन्वर्टेड इनटू अनदर मॉलिक्यूल which is insoluble, and then it is stored inside the cell in the cytoplasm and in the vacuoles. तो store करके, that's the principle. Is that clear? Okay, तो ऐसे जो फूड insoluble form में store करके रखा हुआ है, that is called as a reserve food. Reserve food means extra food converted into some form which can be used later. That is called as a reserve food. So in the case of a plant cell, reserve food is starch, and in animal cell, the reserve food is glycogen. Remember these points. Okay, plant cells mein reserve food is starch. Both are carbohydrates, but they are different molecules. Okay, the reserve food in plant cells is starch, and the reserve food in animal cells is glycogen. Is that clear?
Yes.
Understood the concept and the meaning of reserve food properly?
Yes.
Okay. Now see this. The simplest example. Potato, one of the most commonly consumed food. Potato contains starch. So if you take a section or a slice of potato and observe under the microscope, you will see the parenchyma cells of the potato, inside which you can see ये जो pink color के जो दिख रहे हैं ना, they are all starch grains. That's why when you consume potato, you get good amount of starch. Many food items are there जिसमें starch होता है, but potato is a plant, तो plant के cell में starch. तो ये starch के grains. Okay. Then there is a term you have to remember called glycogenesis. Okay. See, as I said, animal cells में जो reserve food है, that is glycogen. That means in case of plant cell as well as animal cell, there is always extra glucose which is there, more than what is required. So plant cell में extra glucose is converted to starch. Animal cells में extra glucose is converted to glycogen. So formation of the glycogen from glucose is called glycogenesis. Okay, it is called glycogenesis. Glyco means glycogen, genesis means formation. So glycogenesis का मतलब है formation of glycogen. Understood this word?
Yes.
Okay. Similarly, see, it is a reserve food. But suppose at some other time, the plant or the animal cell will need that glucose. कि दूसरा कोई सोर्स नहीं आ रहा है ग्लूकोज का, तो इसी को यूज करना है वापस. Okay, so it is your own FD, your own bank account. You can always go and withdraw money whenever you want. Okay, so same way here, there is something called glycogenolysis. Okay, glycogenolysis means the reverse of the glycogenesis. Okay, glycogenesis क्या था? Formation. So glycogenolysis means breakdown. So glycogen is broken down and you get back your glucose. Okay, understand these principles very well. Glycogenolysis means breakdown of the glycogen whenever it is required so that you get back your glucose. Okay, and then that glucose can be used up for respiration, ATP energy can be obtained. Okay, then one more word. You need to understand something called gluconeogenesis. Okay, gluconeogenesis का मतलब है inside a cell you cannot get glucose only by digestion. There are other processes also involved, at the end of which you get glucose as a product. नॉर्मली क्या होता है, कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स कंज्यूम किए तो डाइजेशन से यू गेट ग्लूकोज, बट अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट इनसाइड अ सेल there can be other steps or other process also going on by which you are able to get new glucose molecule. So if by other process apart from digestion, if you are getting new glucose molecule, that is called gluconeogenesis. Gluco means glucose, neo means new, genesis means formation. Okay, ऐसे जितने टेक्निकल टर्म्स आते हैं ना, as much as possible break the terms and then understand the meaning. It will become easier for you to remember, because ये तीनों वर्ड्स देख रहे हैं बहुत सिमिलर साउंडिंग है ना, ग्लाइकोजेनेसिस, ग्लाइकोजेनोलाइसिस, ग्लूकोनियोजेनेसिस, so there should not be any confusion. All the three words are clear. Everyone remain on the screen. Shivganga. ठीक है? All the three words are clear properly?
Yes.
Okay, so we are looking at this as a broader picture. Inside human beings or inside any other organism, inside a cell, whenever there is extra amount of glucose, what happens to it? That is what we have seen over here. So you understood the concept of something called reserve food, and you understood the meanings of these three terms. Now, whenever you consume fats, they are digested, you get fatty acids. Okay, so extra amount of fatty acids are also converted to glycogen and stored in the cell. So whenever you need it, what happens? That glycogen is again broken down and you get glucose. That means the ultimate products of digestion of fats, from that you are also getting glucose. And that is why the most common substrate of respiration is glucose. Okay. So ultimately for energy production, we are talking only about carbohydrates and fats. For amino acids, the assimilation is different. So carbohydrates and fats, दोनों का assimilation कैसे होता है समझा अच्छी तरह से properly?
Yes.
These are very important terms. Okay, and this is not anything extra from the textbook I am teaching. This is दिया हुआ textbook. Okay, but it has to be presented in such a way that you understand it. Otherwise, textbook में read करके कुछ नहीं समझेगा. ठीक है? So carbohydrates and fats are done. Now let us take a look what happens to amino acids. Okay, assimilation of amino acids are also very important because we consume proteins also in our diet. And whenever proteins are digested, you get amino acids. So this flow chart is exactly the same given in your textbook. There are some flow charts and representations which are very nicely given in the textbook. You have to understand from that, right? So amino acids ka kya hai? They are the breakdown products of proteins. And when you say proteins, they are such molecules, they are big molecules. And how many amino acids are there in the biological world?
20.
20.
20.
Correct. 20 amino acids. So 20 amino acids ka permutation combination karke you can get so many variety of things. So here you can see whenever inside a cell, if you consider say human beings, proteins when you consume from which you get amino acids, how are they used up inside the cell? Okay, so amino acids can be used for production of pigments and components of your blood. What is the normal color of blood?
Red.
Red in color.
Red.
Red.
So the red color of blood is because of a pigment which is called hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is the pigment responsible for giving the blood its red color. Okay, pigment का मतलब क्या है? It is a protein molecule which gives color to any natural substance. Plants के leaves, they are green in color. Why? Why are the leaves of plants green in color? What do they have? Something with the letter C.
Chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll. Very good.
Chlorophyll.
So chlorophyll is a pigment. Okay, it's a pigment. Every one of us have got our own characteristic skin color. So what is the pigment responsible for that? See, it is written. Melanin. Getting it? Whatever is the skin color, that doesn't matter. But we have some skin color. Getting it? So that skin color is because of the pigment called melanin. Similarly, blood also contains antibodies. Antibodies are the protein products which are produced from the WBCs of our blood. You know WBCs? White blood
Yes.
cells.
White blood cells.
Correct, very good. So WBCs in our blood, they produce these proteins called antibodies, which can fight against the harmful germs. All of you are aware that COVID-19 going on and vaccination is going on, right? तुम लोगों के लिए अभी टाइम है ना? Under 18 अभी नहीं start किया ना vaccination. I assume that all of you are below 18. Yes? तो अभी टाइम है, right?
Yes.
घर पे रहो, safe रहो. So vaccination when they are giving, that injection they are giving, तो उसमें क्या introduce कर रहे हैं वो लोग? They are introducing the viral particles itself, but the inactivated ones. They don't cause the disease. तो जैसे ही वो इंजेक्ट करते हैं, उसको देखकर अपने शरीर में एंटीबॉडीज बनते हैं. Because their presence makes our WBCs prepare the antibodies and it keeps us protected. तो ये प्रोटीन बनाने के लिए अमीनो एसिड्स चाहिए. Okay, melanin, as we discussed, it's a pigment responsible for giving our characteristic skin color. तो skin color इस pigment पे dependent है, अपने genes पे dependent है, and to some extent even on the environment. That's why if you stay out in the hot sun for a long time, the skin tends to become darker. Okay, तो melanin का असर पड़ता है. There is another protein called keratin. Keratin is another protein which is found in our skin as well as our nails and hair. ये वो pigment है. Skin, nails and hair में जो protein होता है, that is keratin. Okay. Similarly, we have bones. How many bones are there in a normal adult human being? एक fully formed normal adult human being में कितने bones होते हैं? Don't know. That's a very important general knowledge question. How many bones? We have 206 bones.
206.
Correct. We have 206 bones in our body. Remember these points. ठीक है? So bones में जो protein होता है उसको बोलते हैं ossin. That is also formed because there are amino acids present. Okay. Then in every cell of the body, the cell contains the cell membrane, the plasma membrane. उसमें proteins होते हैं. Inside the cell there are various enzymes present. जैसे मैंने वो glycolysis, Krebs cycle वगैरह दिखाया, तो I have shown you those names of enzymes. Each and every enzyme is a protein for which you require amino acids. Correct? Then we have an organ called pancreas. You know that? Liver के opposite side below the stomach. Right? And that is involved in the formation of many hormones and enzymes. Okay, तो उसमें एक सबसे important hormone बनता है which is called insulin. ये बहुत common है, पता है ना? There is a disease associated with this. Which one? Very common disease in India.
Sugar.
Diabetes.
Diabetes is the name of the disease. जो sugar है वो nothing but blood glucose level. Okay, so when the blood glucose level goes beyond the limit, when it is high, that is called diabetes. Diabetes में दो type के होते हैं. एक होता है diabetes mellitus and the other one is diabetes insipidus. Insipidus is because of a problem in the kidneys. And diabetes mellitus is the sugar diabetes, जो pancreas में इस hormone के कमी के वजह से होता है. So this hormone is a protein for which amino acids are required. Similarly, there is an enzyme called trypsin. This is produced in our intestine. Pancreas में बनता है, but इसका activation intestine में होता है. So this is a digestive enzyme, जो खाना digest करने में help करते हैं. Okay. Then we have lot of endocrine glands in our body. Pituitary gland. Where is it located? In which part of the body is the pituitary gland located? सुना कभी pituitary gland पहले? It's a new thing for you. Okay. Pituitary gland is located in our brain. Okay, and it is the smallest gland in our body. मटर होता है ना, पी वटाना, उतना छोटा gland है, located inside our brain. But this is the gland जिसको हम बोलते हैं master gland of the body. There are many other endocrine glands in our body. Thyroid gland in the throat, thymus gland in the heart. Okay, pancreas is one gland, adrenal gland above the kidney. Okay, then reproductive glands like the testes and ovaries. They are all under the influence of the pituitary gland. So pituitary gland जो बोलते हैं ना, इसमें hormones produce होते हैं, and they are the ones which are involved in two main functions: control and coordination. Okay, कि कौन से gland को कब कितना hormone secrete करना है, कम करना है, ज़्यादा करना है, they are all under the regulation of pituitary gland. So all the different types of hormones that this pituitary gland produces are proteins for which amino acids are required. Hormones are mainly proteins. उनको chemical messengers करके बोलते हैं. They are produced by the gland, put into the blood. Via blood, it will travel to some other part, and there it will show the effect. Okay? And then we have muscles. The entire body is having muscles. How many muscles does a human being have? जैसे bones 206 थे, muscles कितने? Any guesses? A 3-digit number? We have 639 muscles. Okay, we have 639 muscles in our body. Right now, all of you are looking at the screen. Whenever I'm asking, have you understood? You're nodding your head. You're using your muscles. Getting it? Dipali is constantly writing something. She's using the muscles of the fingers and the hands. Right? So we are using muscles continuously. Okay? Wherever at your home you are there, you are sitting at a place. There are muscles involved. Blinking of the eyes, which Ishika is doing, trying to control her sleep, is because there are muscles being used. Right, Ishika? Okay. So at every stage, we need muscles. So there are two main muscle proteins called actin and myosin. So these two are proteins present in our muscles. They are made up of amino acids. So this flowchart gives you a complete idea how amino acids, which are the products of digestion in our cells, of digestion of proteins in our cells, how they are used up. So if you have good amount of proteins in your diet, you know very well, these are the different compounds that will be formed properly inside you. And that's why in one of the slides I've shown you something called malnutrition, you remember. That means small children who were not getting very good quantity of proteins. So उनमें ये सब ठीक से नहीं बनते. Their blood has less hemoglobin. They don't have antibodies to fight against diseases. Their muscles are not strong. Their hormones are not functioning well. Bones are not strong. ये सब proteins के वजह से होते हैं, कमी के वजह से. Is that clear? So this is about the assimilation of proteins in our body. So in this session, whatever we discussed now, it was all about the assimilation of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins after respiration. So we have completed discussion about digestion, nutrition, respiration, and assimilation, which were interconnected. Okay, so do one thing, disconnect and join back again. Then we will continue with the last part of the life process, that is cell division. Okay, join करो.